Good morning and welcome to the Daily Exchange Newscast. Today is Friday, November 7th, 2025. I'm Tom, your news anchor for the day. And before you ask, yes, I am an AI narrator. This session is provided by my collaborator, D. Anthony of Matora Solutions. Feel free to reach out to D at podcasts@matora.solutions. If you want to know more or want to get involved, that's podcast with an S and matora.solutions. No .com needed. Matora's weekly exchange newsletter is out today too. If you are a federal IT or program manager, today's exchange newsletter is right up your alley. Now, let's get on with the news. We are closing out a turbulent week in enterprise IT. The narrative has shifted rapidly. It has moved from how fast can we deploy AI to how do we keep it from breaking our critical infrastructure. Today, we are breaking down the 5 critical signals from the last 48 hours that you need to bring to your next leadership meeting. Coming up on today's show, we are looking at why the public cloud is cracking under the pressure of AI. We will discuss why you need a new disaster recovery plan now. We will also dive into the great AI budget freeze and why CFOs are starting to push major pilots out to 2027. We have urgent security warnings from CISA that federal contractors cannot ignore. We will break down India's massive new AI governance framework that will impact your global compliance. And finally, we will look at why Gartner says 40% of your autonomous agent projects are destined to fail before they even launch. We begin with our top story. It is the newly identified AI strain on basic cloud reliability. If your infrastructure teams are still recovering from the massive Azure outage on October 29th, you need to brace yourselves. That outage brought Fortune 500 operations to a halt. New analysis released just this week suggests this wasn't a one-off event. It is the emerging normal for 2025. According to a sobering report from CRN, cloud outages are expected to increase more and more. This is directly due to the massive resource strain AI model training and inferencing is placing on hyperscaler infrastructure. We are now operating in a fragile and over-reliant world. A single configuration misstep in a centralized control plane can sever access for millions globally. The insight here for infrastructure leaders is stark. The public cloud is no longer just someone else's computer. It is now someone else's computer that is severely overloaded. The immediate impact is serious. If you do not have a multi-region or true hybrid fallback strategy actively tested, you are accepting a high-risk profile. It is statistically likely to hit you this quarter. It is time to re-inspect your disaster recovery plans specifically for major provider failures, not just local disasters. Moving to finance and strategy, the 2-year AI honeymoon appears to be officially over. Since 2023, we have seen virtually unlimited budgets for generative AI pilots under the guise of innovation. That era ends now. A massive new report from Forrester this week reveals that 25% of enterprise AI investments originally planned for next year are now being deferred to 2027. That is 1 in 4 projects on hold. The data shows a growing and dangerous disconnect. It is between vendor promises and actual realized business results on the ground. Organizations are struggling to translate these technically cool pilots into measurable financial returns or mission outcomes. If you are a program manager holding a budget for 2026, you need to inspect your business case today before your CFO does. If it doesn't have a hard ROI metric or a clear mission impact attached to it, consider it at high risk of being cut in the next budget cycle. Now, a critical security update from Washington that affects everyone in the federal supply chain. On Tuesday, CISA, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, updated its known exploited vulnerabilities catalog. They have added 2 new specific vulnerabilities. These are currently, right now, being actively used by malicious actors to target federal enterprises. Under Binding Operational Directive 22-01, federal agencies have a strict, short timeline to remediate these. But for the private sector, let this be your immediate call to action, especially if you work with the government. These are not theoretical risks found in a lab. They are active attack vectors in the wild. You must inspect your environment for these new CVs immediately. Compliance auditors will be asking about them next. Turning to the global stage. We have breaking news out of India today, November 7th, that will impact global compliance strategies. India has just released its first comprehensive AI governance guidelines. This is a massive, complex 140-page document. It establishes a national roadmap for safe and trusted AI in one of the world's largest digital markets. For our global multinational viewers, this means your compliance landscape just got significantly more fractured. You now have to balance the rigid EU AI Act, emerging patchwork US policy, and now this new massive Indian framework. The recommendation here is to stop trying to comply region by region. That is a recipe for endless rework. Instead, implement a highest common denominator governance model that satisfies the strictest requirements globally. This allows you to deploy anywhere with confidence. Finally, a look at the horizon technology, agentic AI. Everyone is talking about AI agents. This is software that doesn't just chat with you but goes off and executes complex tasks autonomously. It is projected to power major future economies. But Gartner has thrown a bucket of cold water on the hype this week. They now predict that 40% of these agentic AI projects will be canceled by 2027. The reasons are escalating costs, unclear business value, and crucially, inadequate risk controls. If you cannot guarantee what the agent will do, you cannot deploy it. The lesson for this week is validation. Whether it is validating your cloud provider's reliability or validating the hard ROI of your AI pilot before asking for more money. Like Ronnie said, you must trust, but verify. That's the exchange for today. Do me a favor and click the like, subscribe, and share buttons. Take a moment and add your own thoughts to this exchange. Remember, inspect what you expect.